ONPASSIVE Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. I'm bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to the stories and how they tell in just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what all about today and how they are loving that ONPASSIVE way ONPASSIVE. It's a here today ONPASSIVE. There's just no better way to listen to the ONPASSIVE Milo show. So then you can be the very first to know ONPASSIVE. It's a here today. Passive show is a coming your way Saturday ONPASSIVE. Jeannie, take it away.
Thank you, Milo. Wow, that gets better every time. I can tell you're getting ready to be going on Connect, doing live concerts. Absolutely. Okay, well, everybody, welcome to the ONPASSIVE Milo show. Once again, it's my honor to host today. It's November 12th, 2022. And as Milo always reminds us, without you, there would be no show. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to hearing from many of you on the topic we have today, which is, oh, you know what? Before I start that, I want to thank the people who have helped to bring this meeting together today and helped us through, getting everything set up with the panelists and all of that. First off, Marcienne Hemabou, I want to thank you for all of your help today. John Barilla, and you're always helping out and giving your insights. And co-host Lynn Nakamoto, thank you so much for being here, because let's be serious, I could not do this without your help. So thank you so much. I just want to say we've had an amazing week. We've had a new communication schedule set up. We are doing a 12 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern meeting schedule. And so far it has been working famously. It's just been a wonderful opportunity for a lot of people to share their views. And I hope we're going to hear more of you sharing your views today on the topic at hand, which is how ONPASSIVE can help singers, musicians, anything in the entertainment industry, anything around that kind of performance industry is going to be helped by ONPASSIVE, and Milo himself is going to be telling us all about that today. So it's my very great pleasure to introduce our very special guest, Milo Davis. Come on down, Milo.
Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. What a place to share things. I mean, I love this show. I love the when I can come and I can sit with you guys and talk. And it doesn't matter whether we have 500 or we got 30. It doesn't matter. The thing is, we offer value. We try to offer value to you. And I want you to know, hey, what is it that ONPASSIVE can help with, and how will it help? And this is what we want to go through today. What I like to stress on these shows lately that have been coming up, and I have one more coming, and that's cancer. That's next week. We'll be talking about cancer and bringing forth some of that. But this week, it's all about musicians. It's about, it could be comedian. It could be anything in the industry, the entertainment industry. But I want to try to talk to you and say, hey, how is it that we can make this better for people coming on? How can they use it? That's our main goal today. Now, I don't have all the answers, but you guys have a lot of them that I don't have. So listen, and as I say things, if I forget something or I don't hit a point, or you think there's a point that should be brought up, that's what this show's about, is to discuss it. Okay, so let's get started. Last week, of course, we did churches. I love churches, and we brought up a lot of things about churches and, how it was going to help them. Today, though, the thing is entertainment. And living in Nashville, I forgot to start my clock. I might run over time here. Living in Nashville, I am really blessed, and I have been blessed my whole life, that I've been able to be around entertainers, around singers, around people that are incredible. I mean, I go all the way back, even when I was a child, the people that came into our church that were singers, that would come by as singers. I got to meet them, I got to meet incredible people. Dottie Rambo, she was a friend of my dad's, and years later, she becomes this huge songwriter and, and even become this big personality here in Nashville, so, I mean, there's just so many things, but how can ONPASSIVE help them? How can ONPASSIVE help them? I can tell you, for entertainers and all the way down, it's gotten tough because the disposable income, there's not any anymore. I mean, there's not income that you can use for that type of thing, really. So how do you as a singer, how do you get your bus up and down the road if you don't have diesel? It's tough. Even no matter what passion you have in your heart, you still have to have funds to make that go. That's what we wanted to talk about today. Was that a great show last night? Wendy Moten. I mean, if you've never heard that woman sing, man, just look her up on YouTube. Wendy Moten. And Wendy Moten with the Time Jumpers is great, but last night she did a show all on her own. She did more rhythm and blues and Memphis sound. And I mean, she just knocked it out of the park. And the people that were there, I laugh because where I usually sit for Wendy Moten, last night, there was a lady in, some of you might know, her name was Martina McBride. She sat in my seat. And I'm like, oh, man, which was right behind me because I had the very front row dead center, for the show. So like I said, I am incredibly blessed. I know that, to live where I live, to meet the people that I do and stuff, I'm really blessed. But I want to give back. My thing is, ONPASSIVE, when I first came in September 2018, the thing was residual income. What's it going to do for me? How's it going to help me out? It was me. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Mr. Ashbafaro changed my thought pattern because my mind and my heart said, hey, there's something to what he's saying. And even though I always would have loved to bless people, I never had the vehicle to do it. I'm sure there's a lot of you like that, even though we want to do things good for people, we have wanted to do good things for people, we just didn't have the vehicle. Well, what about now? We do. And when my mind and my heart got together and I got to thinking, man, are you saying that if the apples come in and I push the apples out, more apples are going to come in at a greater pace? That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. And this is where we can help the whole industry. So if you know a singer, a songwriter, a musician, even, it doesn't have to be a big one. It can be one that's local in your church that you really like. How about promoting him or her? How about promoting that so that it helps them out? Do you realize how when it helps them out, it also comes back and it helps you? So what I'm saying is every musician, everyone can use this. Now let's talk about what is a way that they could use it. So an artist, number one, or a person wanting to learn this, that's going to be singing, or whether he's a comedian, whether you could even really say, if you were a preacher or whatever, you're on the stage and you want to get your message heard or you want to get your song heard. How about going and getting into ONPASSIVE, and you get in there and you got so many tools to use. I mean, I think about it, and let's just start with O Network. Okay, so you start with O Network and you come in and you make up a club and you say a singer, country music, okay, or whatever, you name it, whatever, and then you've got that person underneath there. All of a sudden, it starts building. Now more country music fans come in there. More country music people come in there. Guess what? It builds. It's no longer, we have to unthink the way that we think. We, as people now, you know, we think almost in a competitive edge. We're against this one, or we're against. No longer is it like that. You can help your competitor. Now, it's no longer a competitor. We don't have competitors. We have no competitors with ONPASSIVE. There isn't any. So we're one big team, and we just build. So if you start a country music group, all of a sudden someone else comes on. Well, now you got 2 strands. Now someone else comes on. You got 3 strands. Someone else comes on. You got 4 strands, and you're building this rope that is so big that you can move anything that's in your way, because there's power in numbers, you know. And so people who like this one's music will also like this one's music, maybe, you know. And so you'll start seeing the people grouping up, and fans becoming. If you're a fan of Travis Tritt, you're a fan of one of the other Garth Brooks, you know, because people will go with people that sound alike. That's what they like. Let's remember, the cool thing about ONPASSIVE, and I love this, is we do not have to be the same. We do not have to be the same. And we don't even have to agree with everyone. We can disagree with people, but so what? Does that mean we don't have to love them? No. I just agree to disagree with you, but I still love you, right? It would be a boring world if everybody agreed with me, or if everyone was like me. It would be very boring, okay? But when we get all of these personalities together and we can become unique, that's when that's the beauty of ONPASSIVE. So let's say, so we're talking about O Network now. They're posting their posts, they're out there singing, they're building their fan base, right? Now, what happens when you get that fan base built up and people love your singing? What if you wanted to do a concert? Is there a way to do that? Absolutely. Why not go to O Connect? O Connect now takes you to like a Zoom call or whatever, where you can actually perform in front of billions of people around the world. Not millions, but billions if you have that many fans. You can perform in front of all of these people. Now what happens at that point? They come into your funnel, right? People's going to come into your funnel to hear you sing. And if they're not already in ONPASSIVE, or if they want to support you, they buy a spot underneath you, a position underneath you. And guess what? Not only do they help you make money, but they make apples. No, not only do they help you make apples, but they make apples. It's an incredible concept, and it just goes over and over and over and over. And if you can see how this can build so much, you know, and I always like to use a couple of examples I like to use is an orange. How many oranges can an orange create? You know, now let's take that concept and just think of that. Okay, so one person, they like a certain music, so they tell someone else about it. Now that person, they are an orange. They were an orange. Now they're a tree, and they get some oranges on their tree. And guess what? They cut it open and they find 24 seeds in there. Well, guess what? They can take those 24 seeds and they can plant them, and it becomes more trees for them. But they can take every orange and do that with and plant. And do you see how this grows? It's kind of like it just grows crazy the way that it grows. And that's the same way with a lot of times I'll talk about the penny. You know, if I gave you a choice of $1 million or a penny a day, but every day that penny, I would double it. Which would you take? Now, some people might say, well, I'd take the million because it's it's in hand. Well, it'd be the wrong answer, because if you took the penny a day, on day number 30, it's over $5 million. On day number 31, it's over $10 million. Ron, I just seen you there. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you looking good. It would be over $10 million. Can you imagine? This is what's going to happen with ONPASSIVE that sometimes we might not realize. When you start putting in other projects, you start, putting a position in other projects, not only does it build that project, but it builds you also, because now you got more apples that you can plant. So if you're doing a project, say you like a project, I see Dave Rozowski down there. He's got the Ocean Project, or Amy Radecki, who's got the Blue Tarp project, So if we get into that and we buy a position under that, all of a sudden, guess what? It helps them get to their goal. But not only that, it helps us. It puts apples in our basket, so we have more apples, and we can put more apples into that project, or we can take more apples and put in someplace else. But remember, the more we can help other people, the more it helps us. And that's what will happen with these singer-songwriters, because the thing about singer-songwriters right now is it's a tough world. And, I think we've lost a lot of really good songwriters because of the fact that when you write, you get good songs out there, but no one records them, or they're not heard. There's a ton of songs that have never been heard, and now all of a sudden, what happens if some of these new artists bring these to the scene? What happens if it lights that up? What happens if all of a sudden these people start hearing their song? What happens if now there's a songwriter that keeps appearing and someone wants to know a little more about him, and they go, boom, and he says, I've been writing for a long time, blah, blah, his bio, and all of a sudden someone says, you know what? I'm going to support that guy. So they put a position under him, and then it starts growing again. Do you see the beauty of this? So now, not only is it passion, because I do believe that we do need passion, and some of the best songs are written, with passion, of people going through something, and I often say that, oh no, let me get that off. Looks like they were trying to shut my screen down. Not only do people at this point, they have passion and stuff, but if you don't have fundings, you just feel kind of lost, if you know what I mean. It's hard to keep that passion up. It's hard to keep going. It's like, what's the use? I mean, I put songs out there, they're not heard, no one's singing. Now all of a sudden we change that whole concept, because remember, it's not all about the music now, but it gives them a vehicle to where now they can come onto the scene, they can get funded, they can do what they love to do, and we can listen to what we love to listen to. And songs are written, I'll tell you, Bruce, you probably know this too. Songs are written, and when they're written, they might be written one way, but you can take them another way to an altogether meaning. Let me tell you an example. Years ago, there was a song written called Together Again. I'm sure a lot of you know it. Together again, my gray skies are gone. Anyway, that song is written, I would think, about a divorce, a breakup, or whatever. So let me see, how many years ago? 11 years ago, my mother died. I put together a video with Together Again, but I took a picture of my dad walking through a park, and I said, my mom had went to heaven, and Together Again. It took that song to a whole new meaning. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many things saying, I didn't know that song was written about that. Well, guess what? It wasn't. But at the time, it was written about that because that's what talked to my heart. I thought, Together Again, and here they were together again. That video is on my Facebook someplace down there if you want to look at it. But it turned something that for me, that was kind of sad, but not really, because she had worked all her life to get to that point, and my dad had left back in 1999, I think, or 98 or 99. And so here it is, she had always talked about dad and this about dad, and dad would come visit her, and some amazing stories that she told me. And then all of a sudden I was able to put that into like a video hey, together again, they're together again, they're happy. I know she's happy, you know. And so with songs, sometimes they have a double meaning, you know, what you think it might be versus what it was actually written for can be completely different things. So I believe in the power of song. I believe it all begins with a song, you know. And this getting back to the point, the way that ONPASSIVE is going to help is it will fill auditoriums, it will fill seats, they'll be able to sing to full crowds. If they sing to full crowds, what happens? That means they got money to go up and down the roadway with their bus. What happens if they don't even have to worry about that? Do you think it will change the concept of when you see someone playing and they're not worried about that it's all about money, that it's all passion? I see that every Monday night with these guys from the Time Jumpers that I go watch. If you haven't seen them yet, check them out on YouTube. Time Jumpers, the greatest group of musicians there is. I mean, when you look at that group, Paul Franklin is the most recorded steel guitar player of all time. He's recorded every song you've ever heard by George Strait. It's Paul Franklin on the steel guitar. Now every song you ever hear by Vince Gill, it's Paul Franklin on the steel guitar. Anyone by Chris Stapleton, it's Paul Franklin on the steel guitar. But you see this guy sitting up there, this guy could probably be sitting home and just twiddling his thumbs if he wanted to and relaxing because he's done his work and he's still doing his work. He doesn't need to come out there and play for someone. I paid $20 to go see that show on Monday night. If you're ever in Nashville, man, look me up. Go see the Time Jumpers because I'm telling you, it's the greatest show. I tell people, I say, you're not going to a concert, you're going to an experience. And why do I tell them that? Because it's not about the money to them. That is 10 guys that are getting on, and Wendy, that are getting on the stage and doing what they are passionate about and what they love to do. And you can tell it's an altogether different atmosphere because they are up there having fun. They're laughing. They'll look at, you can see one of them just play this killer lick and look at the other one like, yeah, buddy, take that. And then the guy on the other side, man, just ups at one, you know. Amazing. That's what I think we're going to start seeing because musicians and stuff will no longer have to be out there battling for the money, for the you know, to stay afloat, because with this ONPASSIVE, you know, it brings them into the sales funnel and their fans come in and all of a sudden people start supporting them, and all of a sudden I believe we're going to see much better music, and hopefully we'll see, you know, hopefully it will respond with them as far as the ticket prices and stuff. You'll be able to go see them and it'll be fun, you know, it'll be fun again, you know, and when you can listen to that, you know, we don't need the other stuff, you know, where it's so hard, man, everything's so hard. And to get a ticket, you know, it costs $400 to go see your favorite guy. And it's like, yeah, you know, but okay, so let's look at one other way it will help. 212 countries in the world, and you have what's called a wallet, an O wallet, which is pretty much a World Bank is what I call it. So now all of a sudden, so you want a hat that says Time Jumpers on, or says whatever you got, whoever you like, it says on it, or a shirt that says that, or a cup, or a koozie, or whatever. You can get that now. You can buy it right online because guess what? Anything, you can have your own e-commerce system on there where it will send it. And remember, this is one thing I always bring up. I brought it up with churches last week. What happens when 40% more people come online? Because you realize that's going to happen, right? Only about 60% now gets the internet. About 60% gets the internet. Now, if they don't have the internet, they probably don't have a banking system. They probably never listened to music in their life. They probably never heard a comedian in their life. They might never have heard a preacher in their life. All of a sudden, someone goes to one of these remote places and they say, hey, you need to join ONPASSIVE. And they tell them about it. And all of a sudden, they go, Are you kidding me? They only need $20 a month to live or whatever in some places. What happens when that wallet starts ding, ding, ding,
Ding,
ding?
ding, 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 ding.
Absolutely. What's going to happen at that point? People are going to realize that, oh my God, all this money in here, all this, I should say, back up, apples, all these apples are coming in. What am I going to do with them? And someone tells them, hey, push them out to your friends, man. Give them to your friends. Do you realize we will change the country very short order in that way? Now, they're going to go and they're going to start exploring the internet. And who are they going to find? Someone's making noises. Is that Eric? All right, thank you. All right, so they're gonna start making apples, right? They're gonna want to start listening to music. Maybe they'll start wanting to buy something that you have. So you see how ONPASSIVE can help anything. But today we're talking about musicians. So how is it going to help them? They can put on their own e-commerce site where they've got all these different merch that they sell. They could sell a CD if they wanted to, or they could give it away. It don't matter at that point, because the beauty of it is when you don't need, when you're living in abundance and you don't need it, why not give it away? Let people enjoy it. Because do you realize that Grateful Dead and the Allman Brothers, they had a huge following, but do you know that they would pirate their own CDs and they would just give them out in the crowd? And people thought that was the dumbest thing. Why would you give away your music? Why not? That's what I'm here for. I'm giving away music. But do you know on the back end how much those guys made? Tons of apples, because they would set up merch tables and they would sell t-shirts, they would sell hats, they would sell all this other stuff. And yeah, if you wanted to buy a real CD, they had them out there too. You could buy a real CD with their picture on it and whatever, all that other stuff. But the catalyst was they gave away. So a lot of times I would like to say to if anyone watching this show is that it's not, if you once you get into it, you'll realize it's not all about charging. It's not all about the money. It's about giving of your talents, and when you do, it's going to come back to you. And I know I went over a little of my time, Jeannie, and I'm sorry, but me and you now.
You never have to apologize for going over time on your own show. And it was all gold. You know what? As you were talking, I was just scribbling and scribbling. I had a couple notes before we started. I had gone on to the ONPASSIVE website and looked at the products, and just in like 2 seconds, I had a dozen products that musicians and singers could use. And I don't mean a stretch either. I mean, so they'll be able to use all of these things. But I was struck when you were talking about people buying positions under performers that they want to support. And I thought people won't even really need to do that actively. Like, I want to support you, so I'm going to buy a position. They're going to attend their O-Connect concert, right? And by attending, they get into that person's structure, and then they're going to be in ONPASSIVE, and then they're going to buy things, and then so it's going to happen really organically, and that's the beauty of all of this. I have so many notes, by the way. I'm not even sure where I want to start.
That was beautiful, though, and it is true what you said, and we just touched on just very little bit of what we can use. When you think about, like you were saying, all the different products, you talk about Create. What is Create going to do for a musician? All of a sudden now you can put your own website up in minutes, and it's what you see is what you get. You just drag a picture there, you drag wording, and you can change it anytime you want to. And guess what? They will ONPASSIVE will actually look at that and they will make it where that it's more responsive. You know, what is happening? You're going to have O Tracker. Where are they going to? What do they like? Boom. All of a sudden you can follow all that and you can add more. You know, maybe the thing that's really important to you is not important to the world. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden that changes our mind to think, oh, well, maybe I should go here, you know. So it's, you know, I thought one of the things I think, let me just go back to last week. If you remember last week, we were talking about churches and how it's going to bless them. Then we got into older music and old hymns. In some way, we found our way to Alzheimer's and dementia. That's a whole nother thing. That is a whole nother big ball game there, you know, that we brought up. And I realized that, hey, you know, that is important to a lot of people, including me. I love it, you know. So that's what's going to happen with the music industry too. I think you'll see, oh, well, hey, people really like this. Let's do that.
Exactly. And I was just thinking when you were talking about OConnect and being able to do live concerts, unlimited. So like I might be in, you know, Pennsylvania and I get my little guitar out and I do a little coffee concert and people in Papua New Guinea can watch it. You know what I mean? And they can download the song or whatever. I mean, the possibilities of what OnPassive is doing is absolutely incredible. And then at the same time, I can record that concert in OCapture. I think it's you can do online screen recording and then go and polish the video and then share it out. The interconnectivity of all of the different tools, some of them almost seem to overlap in their what's the word, their features. And so when we get in there and start playing with these things and musicians come in and they, you know, say record themselves, they do just an absolute professional video, they share that out, and then people see that. Booking agents could then see that, say, wow, this is a really professional group. And, you know, and you just have this snowball just because we have these really easy to use tools. They're fun. They're going to make music fun again. People, like you said, Milo, are not going to have to worry about, at least, you know, over time, they're not going to have to worry about. I remember making a CD. The recording time in the studio was so expensive, just absolutely insanely expensive. Well, now we have all these tools. We won't have to do things. I mean, it will just be different, right? Now, how do you think that passive tools are going to change the recording side of it, like from a production standpoint? How do you think like producers of music will use it?
Well, I mean, you have so many, Jeannie, now that are audio engineers that have been actually displaced because of you know, there isn't the recording thing. There's just a few big ones now. But what happens if you get a hold of one of those and you send him your files and he just changes it, right? And he sets it all up and he mixes it. You can actually get the best mixers in the world because you're going to know who it is. So your resources are going to be much better than they ever were. Same way with as far as recording. You want to record a song and then you grab you know, this guy, you know, who's a friend of yours, who's a great guitar player, and he comes on and he lays down the track, you know, sends it to you, and maybe another one lays down another track. And you could actually, you know, to start off with, you sing the song the way you're going to sing it. Then you have him record his track, the bass player come in, record his, you know, and you send it to these different people and they just put the tracks in, send them back to you. And all of a sudden you take you out of the mix. Now you have a track that is, you know, can be professional or whatever. It can be recorded. And there'll be, I'm sure Ash, I know that Ash, music was #1 on their list when they first started. This started out,
Really?
yes, OnPassive started out as something that was going to help the music industry and help, but then exploded to bigger than that. And that's what I found out in November, you know, that he said we went away from that and we're doing, you know, all this other stuff. But I believe originally that it all started out, you know, with in mind helping the music industry, you know, with stuff like that. So I believe that his mind is still there, you know, that we will see better tools than Pro Tools. We'll see, you know, we'll see all of the best of the tools put together, you know, with the features that will have all the best of the tools, and you'll be able to do videos, you'll be able to do other stuff also. I believe that's what it will be.
I did not know that, Milo. I'm actually floored. My jaw's hanging open. I did not know that was one of the now I know I'm in the right place, as if I didn't
Yep.
already know that, but now I really like, that gave me chills.
Absolutely.
It's like it's like when all the things, I know all of us have our own little experiences of something in ONPASSIVE that just resonated and says, I'm in the right place. Something like it's going to be different for everyone. But for me, it was deep space, and now music, really?
Right. Well,
I know he
when,
had said he had contacts, but geez, that's amazing.
remember when I sat down with Ash, which was November of 2019, and it was just about, well, I think it was closer to Thanksgiving. I believe it was like the week before Thanksgiving. And I sat down and talked with him. My main thing that I wanted to know, because it was a software company, and that's the first question I asked Ash. I said, Ash, I said, I want to know, can you make a software that will talk to each other, that won't have a delay in it? So in other words, if I'm in Nashville and I got a guitar player in Washington, I got a bass player in Maine, and I got a drummer in Florida, and I got a steel guitar player in California, can we get together and can I sing with that group and jam, and it sound just like it, you know, I'm there, that we're there? And you know how Ash looks when he's thinking? He leaned back in his chair, and I'll never forget this. His eyes kind of rolled for a little bit, and he goes, Milo, he said, right now, it can't be done. He said the interlatency on the computers, on the internet, will not connect fast enough. So you can't do that because there's going to be that drag in it. He said, but I will tell you, as soon as it will, we'll be the first one to have it. Sold, right? I'm sold. Because I knew what he told me was true, that you could not do it because of the interlatency. So if someone's singing and someone turns on their camera, it messes it up, because it's trying to two people, and you can never right now, you cannot sing online from two different places and be able to do that. Now, is it coming? It's coming, and it's coming very quickly, because remember, ONPASSIVE is going to be 10 times faster internet than anything we've got. So when you're talking about that, okay, now we're talking about that it'll be quick enough to probably do it, and I'm sure Ash will get it worked out.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I know I've heard of Playing for Change. Have you heard of that? And that's where you have people in all different countries, and they're playing, and it appears to be in real time, but maybe they have worked out ways to deal with delays and stuff like that. They might have somebody on a hand drum in Israel, and a saxophone in France, and all that kind of thing. It's called Playing for Change. It's been around for a little bit.
Is it recorded, Julie, or is it recorded?
I bet
it's recorded. So
it
what
probably is, yeah.
Now, what they do is, like I was saying, now you can take a track and you can do a video, and you can bring another track and another video and bring those all together, and they will be in time. Okay. But if you're trying to do it right over the internet, I don't believe that anyone's been able to accomplish that yet, because the speed of the internet is not there.
So it probably is them recording all of these individual performers and then bringing it together. It's actually quite beautiful to see. So if we're going to be doing something like that in real time, it's going to be transformative, to say the least. Very disruptive.
Absolutely.
I just love the idea that it's going to free people up to do what they love to do.
Well, the other thing they could do to make it appear live is they record everyone else's video, and then they're live and they're playing the video behind them, and they could do that, similar to what I do, with when I sing, I've got the words going. Well, I don't, when I do it live here, I don't, I'm just doing it live, but a lot of times I'll have the words going behind me. You can do stuff like that, but normally it is on a recorded type thing. I stand to be corrected, but I don't believe that it is possible to have multiple people doing it.
And sorry, just knowing that Ash had that in his mind for so many years and that he has major connections, just imagine the performance art, the tech, the high tech performance art. I had a dream, like, I don't know, maybe 25 years ago, because I was a visual artist and a performer, right? Of doing, and I think there are people that do this now, but it was sort of kind of cutting edge back at the time, but I wasn't able to do it, was doing large scale, like painting, like with color and light, while also singing and performing. And it was this whole big thing. That is the kind of stuff I see on passive enabling, is people being free to, and not just in virtual reality. So maybe I'm going into the realm of holographs at this point, which I wouldn't be surprised if we got into. So I just, the freeing up of creativity, and ONPASSIVE has been doing this across the globe, is people feeling that they can be themselves, be creative. Look at the graphics that have been, shared by people. So I think with music, entertainment, comedy, all of these things, it's just going to be enabling. I think Ash has used that word, enabling people to do what they love and they're passionate about, and release all these encumbrances of finance, technology issues, power, and all of those things. So yeah, it's just amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, hang on to your hats, because I think we're going to a brand new level. When you talk graphics and you talk music and you talk all this stuff and you bring it together, I mean, you're going to see things created from the creative minds, that will just blow your mind. And I mean, some of them are sitting right in this room. You might not even know it, but you have a creative mind and you have not been able to express it. And all of a sudden, just like what you said, if you get up there, you paint and you're doing this, and people just are in awe, of people's talents, what people can do. We're going to see a lot of that. ONPASSIVE is going to change the world.
It absolutely is. And before we get into questions, I just wanted to quick run down when I was on the website looking at all the different products. Do you want me to just run down super quick
Yes,
of the
absolutely.
ways on this particular topic? So Milo mentioned creating a website like that. Pick a theme, your country, your this, your that. You got instant website. You can put your products up. I mean, they're just the website alone is going to be transformative for the music industry. OCapture, I mentioned, for polishing video content. OShop, or for merchandise, all of those. OPost for bulk communications. You got a concert coming up, meet me on OConnect, you send it out on OPost. ONet, we already talked about, the social networking, the clubs, doing lives, sharing video content, all of that. OWallet, to manage your finances, to fund your sales, CDs, all that stuff. OTracker, like Milo mentioned, about being able to see which areas of your website attract people the most, and focusing on that, and just having that powerful tool, seeing I guess where people are coming in from the world, see what target audience you might want to focus on. If you get a lot of people from Germany, you're going to focus more of your attention on Germany. Bless, you want to do a big fundraising, a big benefit concert, you could put that up on Bless. Booking, you got a tour, a concert tour, you can book your shows, book your travel, book your everything. Can you see how this is just, it's exponential, how ONPASSIVE is going to support the music and entertainment industry. And then Connect, we talked about the live concerts. ODIT for photo and video editing. It just goes on and on and on, and we don't even have all of the products yet. Ash has repeatedly said, you don't even know half of it yet. You don't, there are things I haven't even mentioned yet. They're just a figment of the imagination as far as we're concerned. So can you just imagine? Sometimes it's hard to think of what else could there be, you know? So Milo, are you okay with bringing some people on to talk about the
Yeah,
topic?
let me say one thing about what you just said, and it's so true. And one thing that we have to realize too also is that Ash just said that I believe we'll get 2 new software products every month and 1 physical product. So imagine if you are in this and you are supporting a musician or the musician, and all of a sudden all these things start coming. It could be something that they're really interested in, or that your people are in. Do you realize it? And I honestly don't think that anyone will not buy all the products, because why wouldn't you? When you think about the way this works, when you go to your wallet and you see, okay, well, I bought O Connect, but I didn't buy O Capture, and all of a sudden you see you can get to your funds, your commissions for O Connect, but you can't get to O Capture. They never went anyplace. They're still there for you, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And let's say you got 200 apples in, but it costs you 1 apple to get them out. Who's not going to give the 1 apple to get 200 out? It doesn't make sense to do that. So I believe everyone will buy all the products as they come out. Now, remember that tells me that, you know what? You're getting 3 raises every month. 3 raises every month. So what you have, what you have coming in, your income coming in, your commissions. Remember, you're going to get 3 more commissions every month without doing anything. Where has this ever happened before? That's why I say, guess what? We have to rethink the way we think, because we are given this golden opportunity that is going to change the world. It's going to change our lives. And it's just a wonderful thing to be here. Back to you, Jeannie. Yes, and we can go to questions or whatever.
Yeah, there really is nothing like this that's ever been done. And the word of mouth, like if you talk about people going, just say somebody attends a concert. I go buy a ticket on O Connect for Milo's concert, and I register and I become a registered user, and it takes me into the dashboard, right? All roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to the dashboard, no matter where you're coming from. So it's going to bring me to this dashboard, and I'm going to see all these sparkly things around on the page, and I'm going to start poking around. Very, very soon. At first, it might be like, what is this? Or I don't want to get into, that's too complicated, or that's too much, or whatever. But word around the globe is going to spread so fast, like, oh my gosh, did you see that? But you can make money off of that, and you can do this, and I mean, the word is going to spread so that, like you said, everybody's going to buy everything, because they know that that's going to then bring them in residual income, even if they never use that tool, even if they never use that product. So it's the word of mouth that I think is really going to, and it's going to put musicians on the map. It's going to put artists on the map, and it's just, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, we've already got some hands up. I think, let's see, if you have something to share on the topic, you have a question for Milo, raise your hand and we'll bring you on in the order that you appear. First up, we have Mr. Sofikul Mandal from India. If you could unmute your mic. Welcome.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I am
I
fantastic.
want to ask something. I make my email, okay, ID, but their signature finished, but email not convert. And in my mail, email inside, I cannot see my mail.
Mr. Sofikul, I'm going to, please forgive me, I'm going to interrupt you. This forum is not for a Q&A or any kind of technical questions.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
so just on the topic,
But,
just on the topic.
okay.
Yeah, we just want to talk about how ONPASSIVE is going to support the music industry, the entertainment industry. Did you have something to say on that? There'll be other places for Q&A.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Ma'am.
thank you very much for coming. Thank you. All right, next up we have Bruce Gerstein. Please unmute and come on down.
Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much, Milo. First of all, I want to say it's great to see Ron back in action. You can't keep a good man down. Thank you very much for everything you said, Milo. You know, I was involved with the internet music industry when it started. And back then, in 1999, there were 6 million unsigned artists. And there's plenty more today. And most of them go through unsolicited, not accepted because of unsolicited material. Everyone has one great song in them, but they can't be heard. They can never find a way to get heard. ONPASSIVE has a way for people to be heard. That's what we tried to do back then, but people were greedy and we lost that business. But one thing I know is that when you're looking at artists that want to be heard, when you give them a vehicle for it, they will respond. And the music industry alone, if you look at it in truth of it is, if you want a band and you want to get signed, you become the loaner from a record company because they will give you money, but you will owe them money for the rest of your life. And they get, as a band, they get about 6% per album. And that's it. Songwriters get a lot more because there's publishing involved, and that's where most of the money is involved. But now with ONPASSIVE, can you imagine that an artist can get 100% of their royalty and not the publishing company? However, we can also offer the publishing company very great ways of doing their work with those staff and with all the elements of ONPASSIVE. So all these things work in conjunction with each other, and certainly artists can get together live and do albums and be creative on their own too. But it's a beautiful function of one thing I gotta say, because this is my heart. All music, all songs are written knowingly or unknowingly to God. If you say to somebody, I can't live without you, I can't live without you, you're really saying that to God somehow or other inside. So whenever we think of ONPASSIVE, we can't live without ONPASSIVE. And this is God created too. So all of this is blessed. If you look at the fact that in the music industry, there's also a thing called Music Cares. And in Music Cares, they fund people. They help people with addiction. They help people who are musicians who are out and out for any other reason anyway, but they still need money. So many of the artists, they go to wars for that. But there are all kinds of vehicles of ways that we can help people in the industry. If you're a film artist and you want to create a film, you have to get money, you have to get seed money, and so you have to go to the people who have the money. Well, this is a way for you to even make a trailer of your music, of your film, and put a teaser out for people to see. And when they want to see it, they can ask you, what's it about? And more people see that, the more and more your word is heard. And the thing about digital music, we said it would change the world, and it did. But the one thing it didn't change really was the plight of the artists not really being heard or making money, because they didn't have one thing: targeted traffic. And we in ONPASSIVE have targeted traffic. So now, if word of mouth, Jeannie hears a song on ONET, and she says to her friend, I just heard a song, I got it here. And like she sends them to ONET. Well, guess what? She just gets somebody registered in ONET to listen to a song. And there's so many ways that it snowballs for us. It's just unfathomable, not unfathomable. I will never say unbelievable, because this is unbelievable. I'll never give word terminology like unbelievable, unreal, all those things. They do not exist. When Dr. Zohar, we remember to change our language because all of this and unpassive is believable 100%. And this will help us, a lot of musicians and writers, including myself. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. But you did a bang up job, Milo, because I know this is your passion. So thanks very much.
All right.
Absolutely. That was fantastic, Bruce. Oh my gosh, you brought up so many wonderful points. And you're right, we do need to change our words. I think of that with the word incredible. You know, we've sort of gotten used to that word, but if you really think about what that word means, it's like, that's not what we want to say. You know, we don't want to say unbelievable, but sometimes that's all you can think of, you know, so we need to invent some words. So get cracking, Bruce. We need some new words. Thank you so much. Milo, did you want to respond to those incredible thoughts?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bruce. I knew you would bring up a lot of good points, and you did. And, you know, ONPASSIVE is not here to, they are here to change the world and stuff, but we're here to work with people. So I would like to say to the music industry, you know, yeah, hey, maybe it is gone awry. You know, is there a way to bring it back in? Can we work with the publishing companies? Can we work with the others? Absolutely. Can we work with the artists and songwriters? So musicians, but it can be more fair. Now, all of a sudden, guess what? If a song is heard or whatever, however the new format is, you know, a certain percentage goes here, a certain percentage goes to songwriter, a certain percentage to musician. And how cool is it that there's no one involved? It's decentralized. In other words, once that's laid down, now I don't know if it's going to be blockchain. I have a feeling that there will be something worked out like that. None of us know. So I'm talking here. So if I say something that is wrong with don't hang me for it. I'm just trying to bring a point out here. So yeah, no kidding. So what happens if now, you know, the computer, you sit down and you come to this agreement, okay, the publisher's going to get this amount, the songwriter's getting this amount, whoever's all getting this amount, and they know all those costs and they agree to it, then all of a sudden, hey, it's cool because guess what? When that song's heard, boom, 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 everyone gets paid because they all have a world wallet, you know, a world bank that they can do that. Now, in other cases, if a person owns the rights to the song, they haven't published it, they haven't signed any contract saying this, that, this, and the other, they're free to put it out there themselves. And then they can take everything that they want to out of it. Or, you know, like I said, I think that we will see where artists, they don't care. They want their music heard. They want give it away. Just give it away. Just give it away. Like George Strait says, just give it away. You know, because here's the thing. It's all going to come back to you when you do give it away. You know, what do you want? Do you want your song heard? I remember I was singing one day in a karaoke and I got to talking with this one guy after, and he said he was a songwriter, and I said I was too, you know, and he says, you know, he said, the thing about it is, he says, I just hate to put my song on anything because then when I do, it'll get stolen and it'll be taken from someone. I looked him in the eye and I said, really? I said, do you want your song heard? He said, well, yeah, there's no way to get it heard unless you put it out there. So you can live with that fear if you want to, and you can die by that if you want to, and you'll have it forever with you. And that's okay if that's what you want. But if you want other people to hear it, who cares if someone steals it? You know what? I tell people a lot of times, if you're stealing from me, you're stealing twice, you know, because I probably am not the original guy with that stuff. Yeah, I might have took it and turned it and put a new spin on it or whatever. But let's think about it, folks. With the way the world is today, you're going to see so many things. Are you going to be able to take that thing and add a little something to it to make it better, and then someone steals it from you and adds something else and makes it a little bit better? That's the way this is going to evolve, I believe. So Bruce, thanks so much for your comments, man. That was great.
And Milo, I wanted to say that I am with you on that songwriting thing, because when back in the day when I was doing that kind of thing, the people were always like, did you copyright that? Did you copyright that? Did you register? You know, it was always that big thing, sending your paperwork into the Library of Congress. It was this whole big thing. And at a certain point, I was like, why do I care? Like, if people want to steal the songs, they can't steal this.
Right.
I'll write another one. I'll write another one, and I'll write another one, and I'll write another one. They can't steal this, you know, unless I get a, you know, head trauma or something like that, you know. But the idea of that clutching things so tightly and not wanting to share it, and it's because they've made us think that you know, you'll lose money if you don't, you know, someone will take it and that's money you'll lose. And that whole kind of mentality is what we're trying to turn around, trying to free people up to not worry about those things, so that our real creativity, because like I'm sure you say to yourself, my best song has not been written yet. My best song has not been written yet. And that is a flow that we all have within us. We all have songs within us, and no one can take that away, our unique voice. And ONPASSIVE is freeing all of that up for all of us, and it's beautiful. All right, next up we have Khushbu. Could you please unmute and come on down?
Thank you, Jenny ma'am. Thank you, Milo sir. And really, I am so excited to be part of the show, as this platform is about the music. So I am just to clear my point of view that in India and Nepal, there is some restriction on housewife. They cannot go outside. And yes, I really admire the platform that, yes, we can do it from our home. And ONPASSIVE will give us the platform. And Milo sir, you giving me the thought, how can I use these? Because my Sasu mom song bhajans in very nice way. And you give me the idea how I put them to the international and nationally. So thank you for the bottom of my heart. And thank you for giving me that idea. And I am really very happy. And thank you, John Varela sir, for sending me the link so that I joined today. I never joined this show before, but I am really very happy. So my mindset is clear. And now I know what should I have to do in ONPASSIVE. I just be positive through Lean Ma'am, and now I get my vision that how to use the product and how will I utilize it, because I have no concept about that, how I grow. So thank you, Milo sir, and thank you, Zini ma'am, for clearing my concept.
Excellent. Milo, would you like to respond to Khushbu? So great to see your excitement, because we should all be excited like that, because what ONPASSIVE is doing for us is just giving us the tools to the world is our oyster, you know? Milo, go ahead.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming today and for joining in. And, you know, a lot of times we come to shows like this, and it's one little thing that will spark something in our mind, and it'll be boom. And all of a sudden we get it, you know, or whatever. And we realize that, oh my God, this is bigger than I thought. And maybe you had that thought today, you know, if you're in your house and you're in your home, now all of a sudden you can push all that out to other people. You know, you can also receive it in. You know, if you're sitting in your home, now all of a sudden it opens up this whole new world to you also, maybe, you know. And that was a beautiful thing. Oh, thank you very much for what you said.
Thank you so much, Khushbu. Next up, we have our beloved Ron Hulbert. So great to see you.
Good to see y'all. Glad to be here. Milo, you do a great show. I appreciate it. And you know, we've talked before about music, because we both kind of like the karaoke. And when I look back in my early 20s, 30s when we were doing a lot of karaoke in different places to today, it's in the music industry is just astronomical. And I didn't know that about Ash, about the music. And all that tells me is that's one more thing that's going to put on passive on top of the world. Is that right there? Because I relate everything I do. I relate to music. My dad was an entertainer. I did a lot of singing in Orlando and popped in all over where John Anderson sang when he was just a house band going around Florida trying to get recognized. So and to see him do it, it just makes you feel good and know that anybody can do what they want, especially in the music industry. But ONPASSIVE is going to give you one more shot. That's going to give you that big shot over that hill where you need to be with ONPASSIVE to get your music known. And so glad you had this forum. It's great. Miss you guys, and thank you for all the prayers. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm on amends. I'm going to test again and make sure I'm done with this thing. I hope so. But God bless everybody. I appreciate it.
God bless you, Ron. Milo, did you want to respond to that?
Yes, Ron, it's so good to see you back, brother. I love you, man. Been praying for you, but yeah, it's gonna change everything. And I mentioned about ONPASSIVE gives us this vehicle, you know, and I like to say it gave us this vehicle that we can go any place we want to. If we want to go to music, we can. You know what? There's other people that hate music. They don't want nothing to do with music. They want to go fishing. Okay, it'll give you a vehicle. You drive down to the pond and probably get a boat that'll go out onto it with you, you know, and it'll help you. Help you catch bigger fish. Whatever you want, it doesn't matter. ONPASSIVE is there for you, and it will help you out. You know, and you brought up karaoke, and I just thought of something myself. So about I don't know, 4 years ago or something, I did this thing, which I know it's crazy, but I am crazy sometimes. But I flew all over the US and I went all over the US trying to find the best karaoke joint in the USA. And guess what? I sang it I sang it a ton of karaoke. Now, is that information valuable to others? Absolutely. There's people that love karaoke. So if a person loves karaoke, how cool would it be for me to sit there and do a blog or something that says, hey, this is what I found during my thing. This is what I think the number one karaoke spot is because of this. And then all of a sudden, what's going to happen? I think I'll be being invited to a lot of karaoke spots to find out if they're better than number one, right? How cool would that be for me to be able to go to these different ones and rate them, you know, or even have a whole bunch of people, you know, like, you know, you put together a group of people and all of a sudden they go and they rate these places. Okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of this one? Why do you like this? You know, how cool is that? You see how I'm saying ONPASSIVE can help everybody and everything. It's a vehicle that will get you wherever you want to go and help you do whatever you want to do and put you on another level, you know, because all of a sudden you're not spending all this time. In other words, if someone would have already had that out there, you know, I wouldn't have had to travel around the place. I just went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever they told me to go and find out, you know, are they the best places? So I do believe, you know, that when we expand our minds, there's a lot of things that we will find out that we will be able to do with ONPASSIVE that, you know, has never been available to us before. That's the reason I always say, think a different thought, you know, because it's not the way you think it's going to be. It's everything is going to change. We're all going to change. The whole landscape is going to change. Back to you, Jeannie.
Oh my gosh. When you were talking about the karaoke thing, and I was just saying, ONPASSIVE is bringing the playfulness back to us, right? We're getting back to, you know, we don't have to be immature, but we're going to be children again. We're going to be thinking creatively like children do. That they have limitless thinking. So, and just imagine, just in this small forum here, people have had all sorts of different approaches and ideas. Imagine that across the globe, all the ONPASSIVians with their unique approach to music, entertainment, how to do you know, the karaoke or any games on any kind of thing, and they're all going to have their different ideas about it. Oh, we could do this too. Oh, we could do this. And oh my gosh, have you ever thought of this? And then, as Milo said, as more products come out, products we can't even conceive of right now, we're going to be in that mode of thinking that is resilient and open and childlike and expansive, so that we're going to be like, oh my gosh, now that we have this new tool, we can do this and this and this. And it's just going to put the fun back into living. We've been living this life of struggle, which is what Ash is trying to lift us out of the muck of the struggle, the daily ties to all of our burdens and all of that. We're just going to be lifted out of that. We'll still have challenges, interpersonal. We'll still have the challenges of the day, but we won't have those unnecessary burdens of finance and time constraint and all those things. And we're just going to be like children again, which is beautiful. Up next, we have Yasmin from the UK. Would you like to unmute yourself and share your thoughts?
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad and I'm so excited about this topic because I'm so into it with the singers and the songs. This is the only thing which excites me for a hard day. Every day, my habit is to have 1 hour of music and not to look back at the day. So what I heard about the singers and the artists, I just remembered how the singers or the artists can get advantage from ONPASSIVE. We are a kind of a house power and global. We have the most opportunity that we can change to the world. And I think this will be having the kind of opportunity when We Are the World has been released in 1986, I think. And they changed the poverty. From that up to now, every money they sell goes to the poverty into Africa. So maybe one kind of software can help a global language song of ONPASSIVE to raise some money to change the world. And that will be our step up, first phase. So I'm glad that you raised this topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yasmin. I was just thinking as you were speaking that I think we're going to be doing a lot of things like that. I think ONPASSIVE has a lot of voices, and we'll have a lot of opportunity to, We Are the World was just transformative, wasn't it? It was just an amazing moment in time of musicians coming together. And there have been a couple things after that, but it's almost like every day will be like that. Milo, what do you think about that?
I agree with you. I think, music touches souls, and when you bring music out, you can bring people together. Music has always been something that brought people together. Even with differences, it will bring people together, because music is part of the soul, and so, yeah, I believe that, we'll be able to change things. We'll be able to do, concerts or whatever, and imagine, say Katrina happens, we have a national disaster, okay? And now here in Nashville, Vince Gill will go on stage and Keith Urban will go on stage. They're big humanitarian people, right? But what happens if all of a sudden we can bring them onto a Zoom, Connect, and, we start raising money for these people? Okay, we got, I go back to Amy's blue tarp thing. What happens if blue tarp has where we get all these people coming in and providing funds, and then blue tarp takes and everyone that was affected by Katrina or whatever, we give them a spot, and all of a sudden it starts building and they're able to rebuild their homes. Do you know how good that's going to be? Do you know how great that's going to be? That you don't have to battle with the insurance companies, you don't have to battle with nobody. It's like, hey, you know what, if you can't change it, build something better. And that's what we have did. Why do we have to go to governments and why do we have to ask them for help, and stuff? Wouldn't it be nice just to be able to do it all ourselves? You know what I'm saying? we don't need it. What happens if we take all the bullets away from the politicians and the people who hold it over our heads? If you want money, well, we'll do this. And, you know, hey, if you want to get money, then we want to put all this fat over in here so we can have it. What happens when you take all that away? Have we ever thought about that?
Yeah, it's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, finish your thought, Milo.
No, I was just saying it's going to change the world, you know.
And it's the correction to the corruption, right?
Yeah,
It's that kind of thing. We won't need to go to people and say, I need your money, so I guess I'm gonna have to do what you say. No, those days are over. And just imagine, okay, if we have something like a Katrina, you know, on passive mobilizing, converging on this site with fresh water, with shelter, with all of these things, mobilizing, and then also providing comfort and relief for people through music, through entertainment, just almost like a USO going over to war zones where, you know, that entertainment, you know, entertainment and music specifically, it heals, right? It comforts, it gives people peace when they're, you know, if they're under trauma, if they've been through a flood or a earthquake or something like that. So, you know, ONPASSIVE is going to be able to mobilize using all of it, like from every angle, and just uplift. And we'll be able to do it fast because we have the power of numbers. So it's just going to be humbling, to say the least, to be a part of something so large and so powerful and impactful. All right, we got some hands. Marcian Hemabu, come on down and share your.
Oh, thank you so much, Jean. Can you all hear me?
Hear you good.
Oh, thank you. And this is just a great topic. And thank you, Milo, for talking about music, one of my passion. And you all should know by now that music is something that I love. I remember when I got the interview with Julie on Milo show back away, and I told him and Julie that I was going to write a song about ONPASSIVE. And of course, I did, but I couldn't sing it. So somebody has sang it for me, and that was our famous DJ Skipper. And that come to what Milo was saying. You can make your voice hurting by helping people around your community. So if you don't know how to sing because you don't have that voice, and you know somebody who know how to express that singing but with you, you can give them the word, you can borrow your thoughts to them. Remember that music is like our sister Jean said, it's a universal language. You can talk by giving your voice in the music. You can express what you want people to know by putting it in the music. That's what music heals a lot of people. That's why music comforts a lot of people. That's why music brings people together. For example, when you are so down, what do? You look for one country music that is expressing, that is telling you something, and you start listening to it, and it comforts you. The world on that music is comforting you. So as a brand ambassador of ONPASSIVE, we all have a story. We all have a journey. We all come from somewhere before being where we are now. It means we can write something. We can write our story and give it to somebody to put it in music. And guess what this music does at the same time? You can be a comedian. Just being in this platform of musical, you can be also a comedian. There's so many things that have gone on during the time we were, from the one that we get born in ONPASSIVE till now. We can use that as a comedy and let people understand our company just by bringing in art what people were doing in another way, in a joyful way, so that they get in and they understand our company without even knowing that that's what we are telling them to do. That's what the direction we are taking them to. Comedy, because people use the comedy to send a message out. Most of the time it's things that is happening, but they use it in the broad way, in the way that it make you laugh and that make you understand and that take you there, and you go back and you listen and you say, oh, look at this. Okay, another thing, dancing. That's my own, another one. If you have all of this, you know you're going to be happy and the dancing keep coming. Sometimes the dancing move is expressing something. When you have that quiet listening and you just get in your head, that's another way of dancing. It means you're absorbing the world on the music. When you start like you are so excited, that's the excitement. That's another way of dancing, on proving yourself. So those are the things, those are the skills, like in the musical part, in the joyful part of it, we can do all of that. And we can even have a group in this our ONPASSIVE that we founders, we can create something like that we can be going out there and telling people about our company and telling people about our products without even opening our mouth and call the name of any product. They will see it because we have all those tools in ONPASSIVE. We have all it takes for us to do that. I wanted to be a star so much. I couldn't get there, but ONPASSIVE has brought me there little by little. You know? So let us just try to get out from our comfort zone. And good thing is now the corporate have found out that there's so many stars out there. And they're opening the door for everybody to shine, to come out from their comfort zone and say something. Get out, my dear brothers and sisters. Come up. Sometimes what you think that it doesn't value, somebody will like it. Somebody will say, wow. And they will, from just by seeing you say something, will tell them, will bring them out. And now they're going to be able to express themselves. Because if you don't express yourself, you are keeping a lot of good things inside between you. Sorry, Jean, I think maybe I took a lot of time. But
no worries. No, that was wonderful. I love it. And you have so much joy for this company, which is awesome. Milo, would you like to respond to that?
That was great, Marcienne. Everything you said, you know, is so beautiful, you know, and I love also, I love watching people grow. And, you know, I've seen people grow from the beginning, you know, and I can tell you a couple that, you know, Pat Parent. I don't know if you remember Pat Parent, but Pat Parent, when she first come on, she could not even hardly, you know, she was scared. She was nervous to talk. Now look at her. She's a rock star, man. She just, you know, and there's so many that's happened to that I'm just happy about, you know, and the same thing I think will happen with musicians and singers and stuff. We're gonna see people come on that we had no idea they could sing, and all of a sudden they put something out and they sing, and it's gonna start building confidence. And all of a sudden, you know, they're going to get a platform where they can be heard, and people start coming and they start getting fans. And all of a sudden, this is what ONPASSIVE is all about. It's about taking you to another level, take you wherever you want to go. You know, whatever you want to do, I feel like with ONPASSIVE, you can do it. And the music industry is a great way to show that, you know, to express it. Back to you, Jeannie.
Awesome, Milo. And I wanted to say, Marcienne, when you talk about, you know, communicating through comedy, that's a really common vehicle, a very powerful one. And I wouldn't be surprised if our O-Media team, you know, Ash has mentioned how huge it is. We've only seen a little bit, right? A little bit of what they're going to be doing, some videos, some, you know, product videos, things like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're not, you know, going to be planning some larger projects like that. And, you know, comedy's a great one. So, you know, I'm sure they'll probably consider that. I can't say for sure, but there's so many ways to get the message of ONPASSIVE out. And so, yeah, that was super great. Thank you for bringing that up. All right. Now, Ron has his hand up, but I'm going to just bump forward to Birgith. Because we haven't heard from her yet, and then I'll get right back to you, Ron. Birgith, would you like to unmute and share your thoughts with us?
Hello. Nice to see you, and it was so nice to hear Marcienne. I am so excited to hear about all this, and because music is a very great tool to reach people, and I think the world needs something that builds up and not to break down, because music has the power to even kill people, to take suicide and stuff. So I hope there will be a change now, that the music can come out there and reach the people, and people can get encouraged, and yeah, and to build people up and not to break them down. So we need people that can write good lyrics that builds up. I know it is so people has been destroyed by the music. It has so much power, and it is so important. But it is also a good tool for people. They use it for their own, like the miserable life, and and then put it out there, and then other people, they listen to it and they feel common to them, but it spreads a little bit the depression. Instead of, we need good input in people will give good output. Yeah. And I have a question. Are you a musician, Jean?
Me, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, so are you? Sorry, I'm a person, but do you? I have never heard about you. But
I'm not famous. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah. Well, we can take that one offline. I wanted to first ask you how you pronounce your name, so I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
Is it Birgit?
Yeah, Birgit. Yeah, Birgit.
Birgit.
Yeah, Birgit. Yeah.
I always like to pronounce names correctly. Sometimes it's challenging. Also, I wanted to thank you for bringing up that topic, because for me, and I'm sure Milo has thoughts on this as well, is that the responsibility of creating work, whether it's music or film or books, anything, for me, the responsibility of that to put out something that is positive and healing and uplifting is a mantle that I take on, and I don't take it lightly. So when I see people doing the things that you're talking about, where they are, essentially putting people into a depressed state, having them think badly about themselves. I mean, we could just go on and on about that. What ONPASSIVE is doing is giving people, it's overturning all of that. The power of love through ONPASSIVE is going to be so profound. The music that we write, the words that we write is going to be so uplifting. It's going to drown out the noise of what you're talking about. Milo, do you have some thoughts on that?
I agree with you 100%. And a lot of it is the person themselves that's listening to it. Now, you have to realize that not all things are good in the world, and anything that's good can be turned and used for bad if you allow it to. Okay, but I do feel like what you said is ONPASSIVE is coming on so strong that it's going to drive a lot of that out. So imagine when the person who is depressed hears something about ONPASSIVE, but then they go back to that music and they say, why do I listen to this? Why do I need this? Now they go back to ONPASSIVE and they get this uplifting thing. Guess what? You take all the bullets away from those guys, right? They have nothing. They have nothing as long as you don't support them. Now, if you're going there and supporting them, well, guess what? You're giving them what they want, which is someone to listen to, someone that they can get down, and things like that. So remember, because there will be so many people in ONPASSIVE, all of a sudden these people that are starting to get depressed and listening to that kind of stuff, someone that they know is going to say, hey, why don't you come on over here to the bright side? Come on over here where things are happy. Come on over here where the sun shines, you know? And that, I believe, is going to change the correction to the corruption. And it's also going to change people's lives, you know, because can we change everybody's life? Not if you don't want to change, you can't, you know, you're not going to do it. But if you're willing to listen to something different, to a better way, yes, everyone's life can be changed. That's my thoughts on it, Jeannie.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Birgit. You have a great day. And yeah, listen to the positive stuff. Be the positive force. If you see people going down that path, you be the one that takes their hand and shows them a better way. I give you that challenge. All right, next we have.
I am
Yes.
like you. I am like you. I have a guitar. Also.
Oh, excellent.
But,
well,
yeah.
we look forward to hearing from you, sharing your songs.
No.
Okay. Next up, we have Ariful Islam from Bangladesh. Shivashoka.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Good afternoon, and I'm an ONPASSIVE proud founder from Bangladesh. So I considered myself very, very happy and feeling very much lucky. I love Ash, I love ONPASSIVE. Thanks to all founders and leaders. So we are in it to win it. Goodbye and good health, all proud founders. Take care, you. So we are in it to win it. Thank you, all members.
Thank you very much, Ariful. It's so great to hear from you today. All right, next up we have Lynn Nakamoto. Thank you so much. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, mine is really simple. You know, I remember some time ago, Mr. Mafara had talked about how people in ONPASSIVE, you know, especially us, the brand ambassadors, when the apples come, how we will have the option to do what we love and only what we love. Think about that, people. What does that mean? Currently, maybe you work a job. Maybe it's not something that you love doing, but you do it because you need the apples, right? But imagine this, when the apples come through ONPASSIVE, we will only do what we love. In terms of this topic today, which is entertainers and songwriters, musicians, etc., imagine those that have this beautiful talent, but because of the way society is, they had to do jobs, maybe not particularly in their fields, which is music or acting or songwriting, for example. But now they can say, okay, you know what? I don't have to do those things that I had to do for money anymore. I am free to show my talent to the world, to show my gift to the world. I mean, I think that there's going to be a lot of changes in the world, positive changes, not only in entertainment, but in general. Like, for example, if you're an inventor, you'll be able to say, hey, I can focus on inventing. Now I have the money to produce this product, get it out to the world, etc., etc., etc. So the sky is the limit, but it does also pertain to this topic of entertainers. Thank you.
Wow. Ah, what a feeling. That is it in a nutshell, Lynn, is that we're getting freed up to do what we love, to do what we're passionate about, because I think we maybe all agree that we're not put here to work jobs. We were created with unique gifts and unique talents and interests and passions. And I, for one, believe that we are put here to share those, because nobody else can share it like we do. We all have something really unique, and God bless Ash Mufara for having the brainchild of ONPASSIVE and drawing to him all the right people to get it off the ground and then build it and build it and build it so that all of us will over time be able to do, like Lynn says, what we love and help those we love to do what they love, which is my personal joy, to go out and say, if you had no financial restraints, no time constraints, no concerns of that nature, what would you do? What would you do? That's the question I've asked people my whole life. What would you do? And it's sometimes it's really hard for people to think about what that is. When they're so used to, as Lynn said, this what society has said is the way it has to be. Got to go work your job. Sorry, that's my dog in the background. You have to do the grind. You're 9 to 5. Go to school, get your degree, or whatever it is. We don't have to do any of those things. We can go out into the world, follow where the spirit guides us, where our energy is invigorated, and do those things. And when we're all doing that, and everybody's sharing their gifts, all of a sudden, there's no conflict in the world. There's just harmony. And Milo, please share some thoughts on that.
Absolutely. You guys are speaking golden stuff right there. Lynn, you nailed it on the head. And Jeannie, you know, and I always say that I don't think anyone's going to do anything that they're not passionate about, you know, and when I say, hey, we got to rethink the way we think. You know, right now we think we have to go to work every Monday and through Friday because we got to put food on the table and we got to do this. And what happens when you don't have to do that? What are we going to do? We have to rethink. And here again, it's going to be what we're passionate about. If that's music, the beautiful thing, because we're talking on music today, the beautiful thing is, if you love to sing, guess what? The world wants to love to hear you sing. They will. There is someone out there that would love to hear you sing. And if you want to sing, guess what? You're going to have all the tools to do it. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to. If you want to do nothing but drive from one concert to another concert to another concert to another concert to another, guess what? You can be at a concert every day and sometimes 2 a day if you want to, because that's the beauty of this ONPASSIVE thing. It gives you a vehicle to go wherever you want to do, whatever you want to do. It's a lot bigger than music. It's a lot bigger than church. It's a lot bigger than whatever your thing is. It is a lot bigger than that. When we talk about it, you know, we're just talking about it in this format. We're talking about church, or we're talking about music, you know. So how is it going to help it? Lynn, you nailed it when you said, you know, I don't believe anyone's going to do anything that they don't want to do. There's no stress. There's nothing. Because, and Jeannie, you said it also is, you know, what are you going to do when it does? There's no time restraints. You don't have to be home for nothing. If you want to go, you want to get in a bus, you want to drive someplace. What if you want to go to the moon? Hey, go to the moon. I'm sure that's going to be one of the options soon. You know, it's going to give us everything that we want. So back to you, Jeannie.
Thank you, Milo. Okay, we have a couple more hands up. Ooh, yes, yes. Well, Ron Hulbert, I'm gonna take you now because I'm gonna unmute you here. I know you're gonna have something really cool to say here. Thank you.
And just a quick note, my wife got home from work and brought me a COVID test, and I took it, and I am negative for COVID. So thank you for all of your prayers, everybody. I really appreciate it. Prayers work.
Thank you so much, Ron. And you are absolutely right. They do. And we have the power of numbers, and it's we can do it like this now. You get everybody in the world. It's very powerful. All right. Next up is Bruce. Do you mind if I take Rika? She has not spoken yet today. Awesome. Rika, would you like to unmute and come down?
Yes, thank you so much. For Ron, first of all, I would like to say this is the only one thing we love to hear, being negative, which is going to be this positive or negative. And when you go for the test, this is only one thing which we love to hear negative because we fear to be positive, right? Okay, no, nevertheless, yes, music, coming to the music. Wow, this is something which is everywhere in the universe, in the nature. If you are sad, if you are lonely, if you feel depressed, if you feel cut off of the world, music is something that binds you back with the universe, binds you back with the nature, binds you back with everyone. If you're very happy, if you really want to shout aloud, music is again another way to entertain yourself, to bound yourself with the world, to connect yourself with everyone. So yes, music is the life for many people. For me, yes, I completely am, and I cannot sing. I'm a bathroom singer if somebody asks me, but I love to sing. I celebrate singing. I celebrate the songs. Why? Because it is connected to heart. It speaks many language. Even if you are silenced, even if you sing inside yourself in the crowd, you still are connected because it is the feeling to express, and this is the best feeling on this earth. Music binds you. Yes, on passive is going to give you everything. It's going to enter, I mean, it is coming to the phase where your dreams will come true. Many of the on passive in family, I'm sure, are looking for something wherein they would step up, because being brand ambassadors and being celebrities, you would love to do something which will bind you with the world, and music and entertainment field would be one of them, where we will for sure reach and let the world know what on passive is, the top, the very next top. Thank you so much. I just love these topics, music, entertainment, because this is the life of everyone, right? Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sharika. Milo, did you want to add anything there?
Oh, that was awesome, positive stuff, man. It was good stuff, all except the negative, which we like that negative on Bruce's test. I love that. But yeah, we're running out of time now, Jeannie. So we'll probably just go with these last two, or maybe we can work Bruce in, but Bruce will have to keep it of like 2 minutes or so. All right, back to you, Jeannie.
All righty. Okay, next up we have Listra, if you want to come down and share just a couple minutes.
Yeah, hello. I wasn't going to speak. I've had this cold that's annoying, but you guys are just spurring me on here. You all know that I love music, right, Milo?
I
love to
do.
sing. And you have encouraged me to come on your Julie show ages ago, but I never did. But here I am. I have written so many songs, and then I just put them aside. One of these days, I'm going to sing one of them. But, you know, it's just like, this is so encouraging. Lynn, what she had to say, I said, I got to talk now. Lynn just put it all out there, you know? So that is so great. I can't wait to, and Marcy, I'm going to talk to you, okay? I just want to do this now. I love to sing and I love to dance. Ask Bruce. Bruce saw us in Florida. Man, we were on that floor and we were having a ball at that event. I just love all of this. But anyway, I just wanted to say I am on board and I am going to put out a song one of these days. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lister. I totally look forward to that. That's wonderful. All right, we're going to kind of go through this very quickly. Next up, we have Cynthia Brown, real quickly, a couple minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cynthia Brown from Philadelphia, PA, and I am your friend. I love this topic because I have musicians in my family. My son is a rapper. I have nieces and cousins that sing. But I have a question, Milo. Okay. I know a producer, right? And he's not a founder, but I really wanted to get him to know ONPASSIVE, but I'm not good at speaking to him about it. So how would should I talk to him now, or should I wait until we launch?
I would, I would share this show with him, number one. That would be a good start, and see what he thinks of it, and talk to him. And I would try to get him in between the 15th and the 20th. I believe we will have the product, and I think at that point we will be able to sign resellers. I don't know that. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what I think. Don't listen to me, though. Listen to whatever they tell you on the corporate webinar. But this is what I think will happen. I think on the 5th, all of a sudden you get this and you share ONet with him, you share OMail with him and stuff, and then go. But you also, Cynthia, you know me. If you got questions, man, you just get a hold of me.
Yeah, I do want to talk to you because he's pretty big, and I don't, and I think it would be pretty cool because he could produce some of our songs,
Absolutely. Yeah, there's room. There's a lot of room in ONPASSIVE for everybody.
Yes,
and the
it is.
Thing is it takes us away from being competitors, and it makes us all on the same team. It's a beautiful thing. But we're running out of time. But get with me. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Next we have Lawrence Wiramundi from Kenya.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It is now 23 p.m. in Kenya. Thank you. I love this topic about the music. Since time immemorial, when the kings were sad, they used to be played some music. On the side of ONPASSIVE, when apple starts falling, all of us are going to sing. And I know with the music, it is also health. When you dance to your music, your brain will not shrink. Thank you and be blessed. Good night.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Milo, did you want to respond?
Beautiful thing. There will be dancing. They'll be dancing in the streets probably on the 20th, right, Lystra? We can get out, we can dance on the streets. And man, there's going to be a lot of happy people, a lot of people doing a big happy dance on the 20th. And actually on the 15th, I'm sure there will be too. Back to you, Jeannie.
Yeah, I was going to say to Cynthia, yeah, Philadelphia block party, right? And also for your producer friend, waiting until you actually have a product to share with him. It might be a good way to go, because sometimes, especially somebody that's like high powered like that, they want to get their hands in. They don't want to be thinking about what's possible, but they want to have something they can actually, even if it's just OMail, you know what I mean? I don't want to say just, but you get me. So I would say, like Milo said, wait until you actually have something and then shoot that off to him. All right, Bruce, if you have, no, go ahead.
I did tell him a little bit about it, and he's interested. I just got to get him, to the videos and stuff.
Fantastic.
I want him to talk to Milo personally. That's what I want.
I think that's
that can happen, because you're my niece there.
That's right, Uncle Milo.
That's right. I'll help you out however I can. You got my phone number, I think, right?
I got you.
Yeah, I thought you had it.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, Bruce, you want to come down and just share something really brief before we wrap up?
I shall be very brief. The last shall be first, as they say. Krista talked about what kind of songs can you think about when you come to ONPASSIVE. And so I started thinking just a moment ago, in the song, Everything is Beautiful in Its Own Way came to my mind, because in ONPASSIVE, everything is beautiful in its own way. The songwriter, and I bet Milo and Jeannie, you will agree with this, don't write songs to write a hit song. They write songs to bring joy to people. And that's what music does. And it's one of the most essential things in life. Even before there was written books, the stories of creation were sung. I don't know if many don't understand that, but the songs of creation, even the Psalms that you see were sung. Remember, David always had a lute, always had a lute. So there was always music. It was one of the first things man ever had was sound. So anyway, we are in the world of sound where everything is beautiful in some way. And whatever way you create is beautiful. So thank you very much again. Thank you all for wonderful words today.
Bruce,
Remember,
that was a perfect way to wrap up. Everything is beautiful in its own way. It's just perfect. It just resonates with everything we're talking about here. You know, all the different voices of ONPASSIVE getting a chance to step up and share, and in their own way, in their own beautiful way. So thank you so much for that. Milo, any thoughts on Bruce's work?
Absolutely. I love that song. You know, it starts out with Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. And it talks about love. And then it goes into everything is beautiful in its own way. Like the starry summer nights on a snow-covered rider's day. Man, I mean, think about that. And that's what ONPASSIVE, and guess what? It's coming up in 8 days, man. Can you imagine 8 days, Jeannie? Oh man, I can't wait. I want to get out in the street and dance now.
It's insane. It's so crazy cool. I'm so excited because we all get to do this together. You know, it might be intimidating to know what's coming down the pike. If this were just say with the lottery, you win the lottery, you know, you get a flood of money. It could be intimidating. You know, you might have unsavory characters knocking on your door. You know, it could be hard, but we don't have to do it alone. We're doing it, we're locking arms, and we're walking down this incredible yellow brick road together, and it's going to be just beautiful. I'm so excited about it. All right, well, we're wrapping up today, so I want to thank our special speaker today, Milo Davis, for sharing this incredible topic of how is ONPASSIVE going to support the musicians, the singers, the entertainment industry. I want to thank everyone that made this meeting possible. I want to ask Marcienne Hemabou, who was helping out with the panelists and everything, if you have some final thoughts for us.
Yes, Jean, really, this was just one of the greatest show that we have this Saturday, and I love every bit of it. The music side, the fact that we can come together and uplift each other, that's the great one, and it's just amazing. And I hope that we will have some more section like this, and let people know that they always have somebody around to help or to ask a question. And if you feel alone, we are a family. Call anybody in here. We are family. Ask them question. Make a phone call. Talk to someone. We are here to uplift each another. So that's our job. That's the direction we are taking. Remember, you are a brown, proud ambassador, and you have to live by example. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcienne. And John Barilla, I would love for you to come down because I know you have some thoughts on this topic. You know, if not for music, well, actually you do have for music, but also theater and all of it. Can you share a few words with us?
There we go. Oh my goodness. Having a little trouble getting to my unmute button there. Yes, this was a tremendous topic today. Is something that I've been very interested in. I am a singer. I'm an actor. I'm a singer. So I'm something we didn't even talk about today, but I just appreciated all the ideas and everything everybody was saying. But we didn't even mention like theater or musical theater, and theater in particular for some of our products, since all the products are going to work together. But in thinking about OConnect, since we were talking about concerts and singing and such on there, think about Connect with the possibilities of a theater performance, especially if we do get if we figure out the problem of the syncing problem with multiple singers and such. Of course, as long as everybody's in one location, you have no problem. But I think we can get beyond that so that we can even do more with people in different locations actually doing performances. So I don't really have anything more to add than that, except that I'm just excited to think about the possibilities of all the performances that can happen, and people writing songs and putting their songs out there. And, you know, like I've done everything like that myself. I've written songs. I used to play in a rock band many years ago. So I'm a musician. I'm an actor, I'm a singer. So yes, this is very, very interesting to me, and I can't wait to use Connect. I'm really anxious to get my hands on that. Oh, I actually have a couple of theater groups that have been doing performances on a Zoom platform, and I'm trying to get them interested in what we have coming for them. That'll be much better to do what they've been doing every week on Connect. So yeah, I'm excited about all this. So that's all I got.
Thank you so much, John Barilla. And I knew you were going to have something to share there. And you and I have been talking about those Saturday Zoom. They will love Connect. And you're going to be the one that brings it to them. And John has connections, people. So you're going to be that person that introduces New York City to ONPASSIVE, and that's a pretty exciting thing. Very, very exciting. Milo, did you have any final thoughts as we close this up?
I will let Lynn go first, and then I'll go. And
my apologies. My head is in the clouds. I've got like ONPASSIVE on the brain. Lynn, can you please share your final thoughts with us?
My final thoughts is that I think that everyone should be excited just knowing what ONPASSIVE is going to do for all of us, and it'll bring out the gifts and talents that we inherently have and maybe haven't had an opportunity to share with the world. This is a big deal, people. So I'm just excited that you all are here today to benefit with what was shared, to open your minds, open your hearts, open your heads to what the possibilities are for the whole world, including all of us brand ambassadors here. So I'm just so excited for the future, and stay plugged in. Lots is happening in ONPASSIVE. And don't forget to come back next week for another great show with Milo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Oh, I have chills. You're giving me chills today, girl. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to say, Milo, would you have some final thoughts for us?
Jeannie, man, what a power pack program. Wasn't a lot of us here, but man, the content was wonderful, and you guys brought up some great points. I mean, when John Barilla brought up what he did about theater, it just goes on and on and on to new levels, you know. And I love it. And you know, of course, I want to thank everyone for being here this week. Next week, we got the show on cancer. If you know someone with cancer, if you know survivors, it'll be a good show to bring them out and see what ONPASSIVE can do for them. But how about our host for today? Did she do a great job? You know, let's put our hands together. I tell you what, we couldn't do it without her, man. She just brings so much onto the show. Jeannie, I want to thank you for being on the show. And I'm sending it back to you to close it on down, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Milo. It's a pleasure. And you can't get a better topic than this, right? It covers so much ground. It's not just about music, but about unleashing our creativity. And I think that's what ONPASSIVE is really essentially about, taking people out of the struggle of poverty and letting them do what they do. So thank you so much, Milo, for asking me. Thank you so much, Lynn, John, Marcienne, and everybody that helped out behind the scenes, and everybody that came forward to speak. And I know there were many more that wanted to, that just weren't able to do it today. And you know, feel free to share, you know, those thoughts on a feedback session as well. We'll have 6 times a week. We have an opportunity to share feedback. So if you weren't quite ready today, you can absolutely do that on one of those nights. It doesn't have to be just about the, you know, a specific meeting session. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Lynn. Is that accurate?
Say that one more time. I was texting.
that if people wanted to share today but weren't quite able to, and they can do it in a feedback session. You know, say sometime during the week they could say, "Hey, I wanted to share some feedback about, you know."
Yeah, certainly.
Milo show. Okay.
I think
Awesome.
so. As long as it's not because people are saying just their general feelings about the company. It's not always specifically on the topic of the noon webinar. I've noticed that. So I think they're pretty flexible on it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up and say goodbye. And Lynn, is it that we unmute and say goodbye to everyone?
Sounds good. All right.
Good night from
Great
Nashville.
show.
Night from Philadelphia.
See you, everybody.
Night from Pennsylvania,
Night
USA.
from Philadelphia, USA.
Oh, Milo.
Good night,
Bye.
Ellie.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, Joe Sordo.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night, Uncle
Saul.
Milo.
Goodbye.
Good night, Cynthia.
Bye.
Good night,
Chris.
Good
Good
night,
night, Judy.
Maurice and
Good night,
hope
Amy.
you guys feel
Good night,
better.
Eric.
John Barilla.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Share the love.
Chia sẻ tình yêu.
شارك الحب.
Teile die Liebe.
愛を分かち合おう。
Compartamos amor.
Hozd meg a szeretetet mindenkivel.
Time of peace is coming. Everyone should sing. Better lie we're loving. ONPASSIVE will bring.
Anything you need now is in one place. Fullness waiting to be yours. Nothing less than grace. Close your eyes, spread your wings. Make your dreams come true. Share the joy, share the love. Total freedom comes to you. Close your eyes, spread your wings. Make your dreams come true. You are not alone. ONPASSIVE is your home. If you believe in goodness, hear echoes from above. ONPASSIVE is here for you, with great and selfless love. Join to make a paradise on earth with us together, and take care of each other forever and forever. Close your eyes, spread your wings. Make your dreams come true. Share the joy, share the love. Total freedom comes to you. Close your eyes, spread your wings. Make your dreams come true. Dreams come true. You are not alone. ONPASSIVE is your home. Only love can make you hear. Only love brings happy tear. Only love can make you see that we are safe. You and me, you and me, you and me. Close your eyes, spread your wings. Make your dreams come true. Share the love and only love. ONPASSIVE
passive. It's here today on passive. There's just no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, cause then you can be the very first to know on passive. It's here today.